What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
OD
Podcast.
Podcast. Period.
Can you hear me? Because I just knocked the mic over.
Yeah, as long as you're talking to the same side you was talking into before.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh! I messed something up. I'm sorry.
Your facial expression is how I am when my hair won't get right.
Don't touch it. Okay, I'm not touching it.
Please.
It's perfect. Okay. Yeah, we back in this thing.
It's okay. It don't sound bad. Either way, it sounds better than what we had before. But since we had perfect before, that one episode, that joint was crispy, boy. It sounded like we was in each other's lap.
Okay. Oh, so crispy.
Oh, so crispy. Who was that?
She was on that show, the TLC show. She replaced Left Eye, remember? See, I do be remembering stuff. I be remembering stuff.
You just unlocked the core memory.
I'm telling you, T.
Oh my God. Okay, that's crazy. It's like I knew it from somewhere. Oh, so crispy. Dang, sis.
And she worked at that one gym. We used to pass it all the time on the bus, remember? And we was like, dang, also crispy worked there at that gym. She'll teach her at the gym or like an instructor.
Which gym? Gold's Gym.
It was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was by Cumberland or something. But we used to go by there when we was on the bus.
Right. I ain't heard that name in so long. It was something else that happened the other day. Somebody reminded me. Oh, I know what it was. When I was in elementary, you know Kelly, right? Well, I actually met Kelly in second grade and her cousin Lauren. And after school, they used to go to this place called Mary's Math Center. It was a after school program or whatever. And this girl named April was tweeting about it, and I was like, "Oh my God, it just unlocked a memory." Because I remember after school, I used to think that Lauren and Kelly was so cool because I went to an after school program that was funded by the government, basically.
Okay.
And Mary's, was like something that you choose to put your kids in so they can get good in their math. But apparently, Miss Mary was abusive.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I've experienced both camp best friends, and then we had the summer camp that came with Chestnut Ridge. The one that was with Chestnut Ridge was way better. So,
you know what's crazy? I never been to camp best friends, and I definitely never knew it was free until I became an adult.
Girl, it was so ghetto.
I don't care, but they used to be deep at the zoo.
They used to be deep, but let me tell you something. It used to be real hood because camp best friends.
It's free.
It's free, so we used to have to share buses. So we would have to, like, one side of the bus would be like, if you Ben Hill camp best friends, and then the right side of the bus would be like Overlook best camp
I don't
best
care.
friends.
When I was that young, I wouldn't have cared. I just wanted to go.
They used to try to fight us. Like, it was real crazy. It was
character.
Okay.
I feel you though.
Well, my characters ain't building off of that.
I was just playing. No, I feel you. It was them, and it was for the white kids. It was kids are kids. So when you go on to field trips, I remember I swear this gonna sound so ignorant, but I never used to see white people until we went on field trips to like the zoo or like places like
people
that.
do not believe me when I say that. We did not have white people in our schools.
I did not, and I used to always associate the zoo with white. I was like, wow, it's gonna be a bunch of white people there.
That's crazy. No, seriously.
And now in Atlanta, it's so mixy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like Atlanta, growing up in Atlanta was really insane because we really never interacted with white people.
We never had
so it was very weird. Like, even now, I feel like my interaction with anybody outside of the black race is very different. And it's so obvious too, because like out here, since it's not that many, I mean, it's a lot of black people, but of course in California, white and Hispanic people and Latino people are gonna overpower black people. So anytime I run into somebody black, we just be cheesing. Hey sis.
Yeah,
I don't even know her.
Right, you just gotta build that foundation. First of all, I just looked up Also Crispy on Instagram. Sis only got 1,200 followers. We need to amplify her.
So I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. When we say only 1,200 followers, imagine knowing 1,200 people. That's overwhelming.
No, you're right. No, and I don't mean it that way because I saw something similar on social media. But I guess I have more than that, and I'm nobody with no talent. So I'm just saying she actually has.
You got talent.
Okay. I don't have anything to offer people that follow me. I barely post. So
You
Godspeed.
offer a comedic account
Barely.
also
When
with
I feel like it. I literally share something funny every semester.
okay, semester.
Yes, but anyway, let's go back to the what we were just talking about. So a couple weeks ago I was talking to my aunt and I was asking her just about so my granddad, he was one of the like he was Atlanta Police Department very early on, like when black people was, it was during segregation basically, during the civil rights era. And so when he was policing, he actually could not arrest a white person without another white person being present. Like that's how it was. And so I had asked my aunt, like, they all grew up on the west side off Campbellton in the Greenbrier area. And I was just asking her, like, did y'all experience a lot of racism, stuff like that? But she was telling me, like, kind of like us, they had everything they needed in their community. They didn't really encounter white people unless they went downtown or somewhere. And so it just made me wonder about the people that did experience racism. I guess it's maybe people who worked in certain areas or had to go to a certain area for a certain thing. And she said whenever she would engage with a white person, it would be maybe somebody that has like a hat shop and they need a hat made or something like that. But it wasn't. They didn't really experience the kind of racism that we learn about because they were restricted in there. But obviously, my granddaddy did because he was out
Yeah,
working in the city. But his kids, they didn't have to.
yeah. What's so crazy is that since I didn't have white people around me growing up, I automatically thought that I'm not like racism was like far gone.
Oh no, I
And I know
don't
that was
know.
me being ignorant, but I also was in elementary school, so I didn't
I feel
know.
it though, because it's like what y'all talking about. Yeah, I
So
definitely always knew it was. I knew it from TV just in general, but I didn't.
yeah,
Even though I didn't encounter it. I felt like I knew enough to know that it was real. And I went to Mount Olive, which was a somewhat East Point has always had some mixiness, but not a
yeah.
lot. But it was enough for me to be exposed to white people.
Oh
But
yeah, no.
anywho,
Mm-mm. My
let's get
mama,
into this episode, huh?
my mama used to. My mama was might as well have been what's her name? Rosa Parks, because
Okay.
she. I used to be in the house and I used to be like, dang, I don't want to grow up like that. And here I am. I
Rest
am
in peace,
Black
Shirley.
Power.
I'm Young Thug. All right, so first things first, let's get into the Black Business of the Week. All right, so something that I shared on my Instagram stories is last week is basically I worked with an attorney who was a prior guest, Rita Esquire,
Come
to
on,
have
Rita.
estate planning done. So I now have a will and a trust, and that is
Go
so
off.
period. So, this is something I thought about for a long time. As we all know, when people pass away, people's, trying to find out how much money they had, who getting the house, how you paying for the funeral, how you doing this, how you doing that, what do they have? People show they behind when somebody die, man. It's
Listen,
so sad. It's really sad. And I know we talk a lot about life insurance, and sometimes people think that they don't have anything to lose. But one thing that Rita said that stuck with me, she was like, even if you think you don't have anything to leave your family, do not leave them with a headache. And so because I started acquiring more properties, I felt like, okay, I think I have some things that are of value that I don't want like the government to take or whoever, I don't want people to be fighting over it. And I've always, even if I just had a car, I felt like, I mean, I had something worth splitting up, but I just didn't know enough. So I just reached out to Rita. I'm like, hey, I saw you posting that you offer these services. I would like to, sit down and talk about a will and the trust. And we did. We had a Zoom meeting and she just explained to me the difference between the two, how I can delegate things, how it works, blah blah blah. Now I cannot regurgitate the same verbiage that she used, but long story short, I have a will that rolls into a trust, and with the trust, it does not involve the courts basically. So when I pass, whenever God calls me home, which is so weird to even say out loud, these, like, even let's say I'm in a lot of debt, my stuff will still be protected in my trust. So the people who I assign them to, they'll be able to acquire my home, they'll be able to have my car and things like, versus a will, which is a little bit public. You have to go through the courts, you gotta do all these other things. The trust kind of handles that for you. Now if I'm wrong, correct me, Rita, but the trust has more protection. So a lot of people that have houses, a lot of money, if I look at people's I look at people's real estate records all. If I drive past a mansion, I look it up. I want to know who it is. And a lot of these big, big, big houses are always in a trust. They're never in the owner's name, which is good. Somebody can get sued, something could happen. You still got your stuff, and you could pass it down to your family. So anyway, right now I have two active real estate properties in my name. And if anything happened to me, I don't want it to just go. I want to give it to my nephews, my nieces, my mama, somebody. Like, no, there's no reason I work hard for it to just go in vain. So that's what I did. I broke up all the liquid cash I have to date. I actually set a hard number. I was like, all right, this much goes to this person, this person, this person. Everything else goes to this. So obviously, I'll adjust that over time. But I even set a point where if I pass at this age, it goes to this person. But if I pass at this age, it goes to this person. Because like I put my niece and nephews in it, and they're not. None of them are 18 yet. So I don't want
Okay.
them to have certain things until they're 18. And that's not to be funny, but obviously they can't do nothing with it when they're 11 or 4 or whatever the case is.
You need to
So
say 25 because that's the age where you develop some
I
type of.
I said 22 because that's the typical age you graduate from college. So,
Okay.
so they don't, they a little bit more mature. They have been through some things. They've graduated from high school. And what they do with it at that point, yeah, it's between them and God because I'm going to be up there with them. So, but yeah, so even down to my furniture, my even Hazel, I had to set everything. It was really tough, though. I can't lie because I really had to think about what I want to happen to the things that I've earned while I was alive. At once I passed away, I had to assign an estate planner. I don't know, a trustees, a person that I'm giving that choice to. I had to determine if I wanted to be cremated or if I wanted to be buried, if I want them to resuscitate me. Who do I want to make medical choices for me? And this is all important, and it's tough to even think about because it actually made me think like, dang, do I want kids? Because
Yeah,
I'm over here leaving stuff to my nephews, my siblings, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when we talk about generational wealth and leaving things for your family, it's like this is how you build it. You leave it, you get these things, and you pass it down. Now I know that my family will take it. The family that I've assigned will take care of my things, but I'm just saying, what better person than your own kids? You know what I'm saying? So
I
anyway,
agree 100%.
I highly, even if y'all are not ready to proceed, just reach out to Rita and get some ask any questions you may have. So for transparency, mine was about 750. I don't know if there are different tiers, but what I got was 750. And that's with the trust and the will. Now I know that might be a little pricey, but I feel like you could probably find a way to have that written off in your taxes. But 750 versus, the amount of time and the losses you might take
10
over.
bands. Because
Yeah,
I mean, the
it's
minimum
really
cost for a basic funeral is like $10,000.
exactly. And that's not even get on life insurance. But yeah, and you can also have that. So if something happens to me, pay for my burial and then split my money. It's just all these things are important. I know everybody just ain't got 750 to throw at stuff, but maybe if if you want to budget towards it, or I was actually just told this week by a friend that some companies reimburse for estate planning. So I'm actually gonna look into that myself to see if they can retroactively reimburse me. But it's absolutely worth looking into. Even if you don't work with Rita, look into it in general. Maybe there's a way you can find another method. But anyway, so Rita, her name is Rita Sarpong, and on Instagram she's Rita ESQ. Now I don't know if she prefers to be contacted that way, so I'm just gonna give y'all her email address, and then you can reach out to her. And her email address is Rita RITA at Tatum Legal Group TATUM legalgroup.com. I'm put the information in the episode notes. But while I discuss that, Tatum Legal Group is a black owned law firm in Tucker, Georgia. Let me tell you something. I went up in there. She introduced me to the owner. I said, "Oh, period, a black lady with dreads from the east side." I it was very fine. It was a nice office and a nice. Actually, the building was where I went to therapy the first time, but we ain't gonna talk about it. Anyway, it was overall. So this is a 2 for 1 black business of the week. But I felt really good being there supporting black attorneys, black, it just was amazing. I'm like, and it was so cool. It was a good feel. So anyway, Tatum for the law group, it is tatumlegalgroup.com. Now I advise y'all to just check out the website. They offer so many services, car injuries, accidents, slips and fall, wrongful death, business solutions. Just check them out. Make a note if you don't need them today. Maybe you'll need them in the future. But I'm very glad that I did. I'm sitting here looking. Look at my envelope right here. I got one for my doctor. This one right here, it says healthcare director. Gotta give it to my doctor. And then this right here is my living trust, revocable trust, because I
Oh,
can
wow.
revoke the rights. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy. It's so funny you said you visited the law office and it was owned by a black woman. I had a client named Sheila, and she has a whole law firm that she owns, and she has offices in Chicago, Atlanta, and another city. And I used to work with her a few years ago. I don't know where she is, but um, I lost contact with her because I lost contact purposely with her assistant. I wasn't really a fan. Hopefully she don't listen to the show, but
I mean, you don't lost
I don't.
contact
I
with
mean, we only girl. She tried me on some real like she. We'll talk about it off air.
her. Okay.
But Sheila's law firm I thought was cool because she pulled in like literally the people around her to work for her. So her brothers were under her law firm.
I love it.
She had friends under that, and then I also had a client that had her own psychiatry office downtown. This lady was trying to get me to be a psychologist. She was like, "You need to go to school for it,"
That's what
because
they
I
was
thought
telling me. They was telling me I can go to law school, but I told them, I said I found a way to make the same kind of money for less. I won't be doing it.
I be outside. So me going from outside to going inside like that. I was but yeah, I don't know. I thought about it. I told her that I did want to just go to school to get a degree in something just so I can
Mhm.
have a secondary plan. And my secondary
That's a lot
plan
of
was
waste of
to
money.
be um, a psychologist. I was like, I actually would. I think I would really enjoy go to school for psychology because on my own I study a lot about um, not just human anatomy, but just the way humans think and how certain things come about, how people create, have traumatic experiences. Like I look up stuff like that all the time. So I'm
Hmm.
like,
Yeah, well, it's good to pursue something you naturally have an interest in, unlike
yeah,
me picking safe
uh,
stuff. So I think that's good because a lot of times, especially when you think about people that are lawyers and doctors, those are typically things that people have always known from the jump. Because those are like the standard career paths. Like, what you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a lawyer.
a
But
doctor, a lawyer, yeah,
real big shout out to Rita because I feel like she besides Catherine, she's the only lawyer that I know. Like I don't know any other lawyers. Literally. I don't even know who I would call. And Rita has helped me so much over the years, y'all. She literally coached me through my lawsuit when I sued my neighbor. Like she really and I always say she fired me from my first job because she worked for HR. She had to give me that call. But she is really good people. She also does services for trademarks, copyright, everything. She does everything. I'm telling you, and she worked full time. So and she is reliable. She's very professional. She cool. She got dreads, and she go to Encore Fitness, Effect Fitness. I said Encore.
that's and that's good that you can move on from that. Because let me tell you something, the person that fired me from Six Flags will never get a
You know, I
chance.
ended up working with him later on. That's remember at the Braves.
Yeah, he looked like Braves. I
Let
just
me
play
see
now.
what
He
he.
actually is sickening. He actually was like a beautiful man,
No, he actually. Why you right? He
I
was
would
very
never.
college, and now think about it.
Yeah,
How old do you think he was?
I don't know. I ran into him at Bulldogs one time, and he
Uh,
still looked the same.
Yeah, when I saw him at Six Flags, I knew them teeth. I'm like, oh. Not I typed in his first name and he came up on LinkedIn. Let's see. It's the teeth for me.
Okay,
Okay, now he's he worked for the Braves for a long time. Right after Six Flags. Now he transitioned.
okay,
He's the people and culture director. Well, y'all sure know how to pick him.
okay. Because that wasn't culture for me, boo. Chap,
Let
looking like
me let me see when he graduated from college. That'll tell us how old he is or a window. Let me find out he ain't got no degree. He don't have no. Oh, my bad. He graduated from Columbus. He went to Columbus State. The way he carried himself, I thought he would have went to Yale or something. And he went to University of Anyway, I ain't gonna put all his business out here because with all these details, you can find him, child. But he graduated from college in 2002, so he's about 6 years older than us, which is crazy because at Six Flags he looked a lot older than he was.
yeah. It was
Anyway,
given it was given 40.
okay, yeah. He was top flight since day one. Jesus,
Whatever. Let's move on.
you let it go.
I was having flashbacks. Nah, because
Nah, I feel you, but you know you was
they're
racing with.
traumatic too, though. Because now that I go to Six Flags and I be looking at people, even the one in Atlanta, they got dreads, they got
Mm-hmm.
color their hair,
Sure
they
do.
can
It's a
have
whole different
visible
vibe.
tattoos and piercings and stuff. And I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
can
I
I go
agree.
back and file a
I feel like
class
we were
action
too young
lawsuit?
to have to be restricting ourselves that way. Cause that's the time to me, that's the age where you should be able to try stuff
That's
like
what I'm
that.
saying. Let me do me, and it wasn't even nothing.
We
I just
gotta
had two
wear these
lines.
highlighter shirts and our hair can't match.
Man, my hair couldn't even touch my neck my shirt at
Yeah,
the
all
top.
that's rooted in racism.
It sure
Stop
is.
that a lie.
Let me tell you, don't get me started because I have a whole 2 hour conversation on how all this stuff is rooted in racism. Tell it all the time because I have friends that always say things like, um, "He need to get a line up. He needs to comb his hair. He needs to
Hmm.
do this," and I'm just like, "That's his style." I'm like, "It
That's
works for
one
him."
thing to be groomed, another thing to be sloppy, and I don't think y'all know the difference.
Yeah, I'm like, no, like, mm-mm.
So, let's move into tweets from the streets. So, let me make sure I get her ad name correct. This is a mutual friend of ours. I actually never even met her before. What's Ty's Twitter page?
Who?
Ty,
Ty?
Taisha,
Ty?
Taisha.
Oh, Tawansha. Let's see.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to somebody's page who I know she follow, and you don't.
Me.
All right, so her Twitter name is Ride or Die Ty, and she tweeted something last week that led me to find somebody else's tweet, and I wanted to bring it up. So her tweet says, "I'm so lost. Why is everybody wearing Bass Pro merch now?
Who?
Bass, like Bass Pro shops."
Oh, the hats. Yeah,
I'm seeing it a lot, and to me, when I see them, to me it's just like wearing a MAGA hat, if you ask me. But
I seen a MAGA hat today.
really, I've only seen a couple in person, ironically, but oddly, I guess, and it was dirty, so I know they was wearing it out, like they was wearing out the capital. But you know what's interesting? I feel like ever since that dude was on video killing Dolph, I feel like that's when I started noticing those hats, and I wonder if the shooter indirectly started a trend. What you
No,
think?
it was before that.
Before that,
Um,
okay.
yeah, this. They started wearing those hats maybe like 2020, like during the pandemic, the beginning of it, or maybe a little bit before. I don't know where that trend came from, but I never. First of all, I have locks now, so my hair can barely fit on hats. But I don't know.
Yeah, you just might as well put on a MAGA hat if you ask me. I ain't hating though. If y'all want to wear them, I mean, I can see how they can seem cool because trucker hats are cool, but nothing about an actual Bass Pro Shop screams "come one, come all" to the black community.
Yeah. Now, not Atlanta, but I can see how that can kind of resonate with people on the outskirts because a lot of people
Yeah,
did go fishing,
yeah,
and
you're right.
since we lived in the city,
Swamp.
we didn't have that. We didn't have that. Well, we didn't. I know some people may have. Like we even had people on Campbell Road that would ride horses up and down. So I tell
You're
people
right.
that all
My
the time.
mom, baby daddy.
Oh my god.
Rest
So
in peace to
it's
him.
like, people did certain things that would be considered Southern, and it's a lot of things, but I didn't resonate with that. The hat wasn't that cool, but I can honestly say that all of
I
my
could see
friends
you with
have
one
that.
though, and a cigarette up your nose.
You can see me when I don't smoke cigarettes.
You
I
did.
tried.
You
Remember, I
smoke clothes.
smoke clothes.
Yeah, they taste like bananas.
It was that was a very experimental moment in my life. I'm glad I tried it and didn't like it, so I wasn't addicted. But
Yeah, that's how I feel too about cigarettes. I'm like, this it. Shoot, that's how I feel about a blunt. I'm like, what's the hype? And I'm not
I,
gonna keep
the
trying.
weed for me is just my mind races so much that it causes like me to be anxious. So when I smoke, I just be sitting there like, you know what? Relax. Like you fine. You're okay. You're doing good. Relax. Stop overthinking stuff. Move intentionally. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to actually sit in my thoughts instead of just like feeling like I always have to be somewhere. I'm always have to be doing something.
See, I
Yeah.
don't deal with that. I like to be doing nothing. But I do always end up doing something, I will say. Okay, so let's get into shop talk.
I got one. Can I start it
Yeah,
off?
go ahead.
So, this past weekend it was um, Dallas Pride, Dallas Black Pride. So, for those of you who don't know, when it comes to Pride Month and just Pride festivities, just like anything else, Black people always feel that we don't feel really included in certain things. So, of course, we celebrate Pride, but Pride Month is different for us because we have a different experience than anybody else that's not Black, pretty much. So, anywho, um, this past weekend was Dallas Pride, Dallas, Texas, and they had Santana, and they also had the City Girls pop out at the event. And so during Santana's set, he unsolicited. I don't know what happened. Maybe something happened to him before he got on stage. I don't know. But he came out on stage and he made like kind of like a PSA saying that gay men run the world. We taught y'all how to do this and this and this and this. And my mouth dropped because for one, the one last week I kind of brushed off because during that time when Blue Ivy was born and her pictures were circulating, a lot of people were talking about her. It wasn't just
Mhm.
Santana. It was so many
It sure
different
wasn't. A
people.
lot of people forgot what they were saying, but we can search all y'all tweets and see and type
Yeah,
blue.
like it wasn't just him. Like y'all can't do him like that because it was a lot of people saying that.
Hmm.
But with this situation, I cringed and I folded up so bad because I understood what he was trying to say, but the delivery was 110% wrong. Okay. Let me just be the first to say I work in the beauty industry and everything that I learned from a black woman, my mama. I literally used to watch my mama do her makeup like on the toilet, like watch her get ready. Everything that I learned about beauty and um, glam, anything like that. I learned that from a woman. So for him to just say something like, "Oh, we taught y'all how to do this, and we taught y'all how to be a bad bitch." How are you able to teach a woman how to be a woman, and you're not a woman?
Yeah. No,
It
I
just
agree.
doesn't
And
make sense.
yeah, I was shocked too, but and I wanted to understand what he might have been trying to say, but I couldn't. I mean, I do know what he could have been trying to say, but I don't think that's what he was trying to say. I think that he is getting caught up in the moment for real, for real. Not to defend what he said, because I do think he was absolutely wrong. But I think that he has so much going on for him positively, so much hype. He getting different tweets, different messages, different, comments, stuff like that. And I think he just is he feeling himself.
Yeah, I mean he's in it, and I always tell people, no shade, but I always tell people you can always look at. For me, I can always look at somebody just the way they act and the way they dress, the way they carry themselves. I can always tell when people are just now starting to get money or acquire money, like real money. You can see it, like it's right
Yeah.
there. I can see it right
They
there. I
just
can see all
doing
the.
they overdoing a lot of stuff.
And so, he has every right to be confident because he worked hard to get where he
And
is,
he
and
yeah,
I
he worked
support him.
hard.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that was very wrong for him to say. I think that what he may have been trying to say was that it's a lot of people who I've worked for. Or just in general, women in general, and I work for them, and they enjoy me, they enjoy who I am, they enjoy my work, and a lot of times I get homophobia from them. They say certain things like, "I'm just so glad that you're not like the rest of them. I'm so glad that you're not extra. You make me look the best." I even had a certain client ask me what was I wearing to the appointment because her husband was going to be there and he's homophobic. He doesn't
Oh
like gay
my
girls.
god.
So
I don't
she's
like
like,
that.
I don't want you to be doing too much. I'm not coming.
And what do you mean
I had
too
on
much? And
sweatpants.
have you already seen me in that make you think that?
People see on
Because
my
why you
Instagram and like
reading?
sometimes I'll put on platforms but even still, that has nothing to do with them. This
That's
is what
annoying.
I
I'm offended by that. Because what you don't book me then? Because
this
I'm
is
obviously
this
not.
happens a lot. This
That's
happens a lot, and
crazy.
I even had like a hairstylist that I was working with. I had like got into it with her because she said something to the extent of like, if my son was to come home on that gay shit, I'm gonna beat him. Like we not doing that. I work too hard for you to do. I said you work too
You
hard for your
work
son
too
to be gay.
hard. So for him to have sex with who he wants to.
That was foul. Me and her got into it about that, but it's so much homophobia that comes from that, like from those. So I get it. He may have had an experience similar to mine because I get that all the time. Like people will treat you a certain way, like when you're alone or when you in a group setting with other girls. It's like, oh, look at him. He got this going on, blah blah blah. But then when you're around men, you're trying to do everything to impress them. So it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, he doing too much. I don't see it for that. But it's like, why?
Yeah, I don't like that. I wish that people would just get out of their head and just be normal. Whatever normal is, just chill. Just chill. Let people who be who they are. People don't. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people they be worried about the wrong thing. People just be worried about the wrong thing. It's definitely situations where I can understand somebody not being comfortable. Like if, like, let's say you showed up to do makeup, your nipples out, nipple rings and all that. Okay, that's distracting. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I wouldn't show that. I wouldn't do that. But
but it's like if you wear heels, okay, that's probably doing a lot to be doing makeup. But what do you think I'm just about to take it out and like what do you think I'm
I
about to
mean, I
do?
mean, regardless, and I had this conversation all the time because I feel like it only comes from the guys because girls are allowed to be lesbians and be masculine. They can wear men's clothes and do this, and people don't even think twice sometimes. They just like, oh, that's just my cousin. She gay, whatever. Just let her do her. But when it comes to a man, it's just like,
Doing too
man,
much.
you seen bruh got them nails on.
Yeah,
This,
you're right. I mean,
what
lesbian
is
is
that
cool, and being
about?
a gay man is not. It's like more accepting when it's a woman, and women get the flip flop,
Yeah,
but men
people
can't.
automatically think like even. But you know what's so crazy though? It's homophobia within the black gay community. Like I have people that'll say he too big to wear that, and I'm like, how are you able to tell him that he can't wear that? Just you
And
think he
maybe,
chose? You think he chose to be that height? You think he
yeah,
chose
I
to be that?
definitely used
Like
to be in
it's
the
so
too
weird.
big, they too big, they too good. But now I don't give a darn. I'm way more mature now than how I
It's
used to
just
be.
weird.
No, I agree. People just, and also for real, I think that people say that be around other people too, because they think that that's what they expect them to say. That might not even be how they really feel. They just saying stuff to be saying it. Then you correct, and they be like it's like when I see celebrities talk about the hateful DMs they get, and when they respond to one, a person be like, "Oh, I was just playing. I love you," and it's like, why are you? You could have just kept your mouth closed.
Just stand up.
Okay, weak in the knees. Okay, so I can't remember who originally said this. I know it was someone from a podcast, but they were basically saying, or maybe okay, but they were basically saying that Chris Brown was more talented than Michael Jackson. I need people to stop the comparisons with the old and young generation, or if I don't even know if Chris Brown is considered a young generation anymore. But I think it's really weird and it's really annoying. Like nobody is the next Michael Jackson, nobody's the next Beyonce, nobody is the next. They are literally who they are themselves. There's somebody before Michael Jackson that paved the way, but to say that somebody that Chris Brown now Chris Brown is extremely talented. Nobody can deny that he can do anything literally.
Yeah,
But to say he's more talented than Michael Jackson is crazy, especially when Michael Jackson invented the way that singers perform. He invented the way that we dance. He invented that style, that swag, everything about him. He literally started
he
trends. No
created
shade to Chris
he
Brown.
created like that superstar
Yes,
kind
he
of
people used to pass out. They used to faint. It's just people used to go to stores and buy his music. Music was not as easily accessible as it is now, and he literally inspired Chris Brown. He is walking in Michael Jackson's shoes. Like it's just crazy to put that kind of pressure on somebody or to even disqualify Michael Jackson. I think another thing too, that because people did not was not around in those eras, it's easy for them to write off the impact that they had. It's easy for them to be like,
yeah.
Young Boy better than Lil Wayne or something like that when like you wasn't even around to see that impact. You don't even know the stuff that they actually did. You know these songs because they were popular, but you didn't see them day to day or get to watch them do, really from the ground up. I think it's really weird that people do that, and I don't think it's fair. And especially knowing how much Chris Brown loves Michael Jackson, I'm glad he shut it down too when he was talking to Big Boy, like saying that was cap. Because it's like Michael Jackson is the blueprint. Period. Beyonce ain't even seeing him. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's just that the thing about Michael Jackson, because I think that what people um, measure things about his vocals. So I will say Chris Brown probably did have way stronger vocals than Michael Jackson. But the thing about Michael Jackson is he literally is the blueprint. He created those things.
Mhm.
People like Beyonce, they have a major impact on the things that we see in pop culture and stuff like that. But it's always something that was inspired by something that
Mhm.
came before. It's
Mhm.
never really something like she'll be probably like the first of our generation to do certain things, or she probably do it, come up with her own way of doing it, which I
Mhm.
think is the part that people respect about her because she doesn't always use a direct copy of it, but unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that she does is like piggybacked or inspired by somebody else.
Yeah, she definitely invented surprise album drops.
Yeah, she got a lot of things that she is like a
That's all
pioneer
I would
for.
say that
But
for.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
and
to
she's
say
really
that,
creative and she's different from 99, really 100% of her competition. So
yeah,
I
for
can see
sure.
why she would be compared to that, but she also was not even born or a baby when Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson or the whole family was laying the groundwork. So I just need people to stop saying stuff like that. It's really strange. It's like, and it just discredits people that even came before Michael Jackson. Like, there are so many people who paved the way for performers and really helped music evolve. It's like when you think about like the original rap songs or the early on, the way they was rapping, they was not flowing like Twister. They was like a hip, a hop. They was not what we would call spitting, but you can never discredit that because they laid the groundwork for what it is today. And without them rapping how they rap, people could not have developed their own flow and rap the way they do today. And I feel like I see this a lot, especially in and I know the comments is not a real place, but it's still the audacity for me because it's like you don't lost your mind. These people literally paved the way. They paved the way.
Yeah, I mean that's a conversation that even like down to Nicki Minaj. I think that the problem with Nicki Minaj is that she doesn't really she's not receiving what people are saying. I think that she's receiving that people are saying that she's a direct copy of Lil Kim. But the problem is before Nicki Minaj, that style of rap, like when women were rapping, they weren't rapping sexual. They weren't rapping like hardcore like men like her. Like before Lil Kim, it was like Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah, Da Brat, people like that. It wasn't giving what Lil Kim brought to the game.
Adina
And
Howard.
yeah, Adina, but even
No, I agree.
Lil Kim's delivery was way different than Adina
Hmm.
Howard because Adina Howard was raunchy, but she didn't deliver her raps like her male
Yeah, I mean,
counterparts.
Lil Kim was very much in your face. This is what it is. It's
Yeah,
not like
and
I'm
she was
not
like
finna.
one of the first women to like bring the designer shit to the game. Like nobody was
Mhm.
really wearing that. What they were wearing men's clothes, so she was
Yep, yep.
bringing sexy to the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part where it's like that's why they're like you know you owe her some sort of whatever. Which I do feel like she gave her props, but she just
Absolutely,
didn't
but
want
she
to be.
did early on. But I think Kim messed that up.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, people don't want to agree with me on that, but I'm like Nikki always gave her props. Her, Foxy, and Remy, all three of them. But
Mhm.
things
Yeah,
go
you know
left.
what too? That doesn't help Lil Kim right now because I definitely know that she's an icon. But her current state, people take her
Her
as a
current
joke
image,
now.
yeah,
Yeah, like the way she looks now, the way she might carry herself, and even the things that I still see her in some outfits that I think are iconic, but because of the way she looks now, unfortunately, and I don't mean to sound problematic, it's not received the same. Cause
no,
she
seriously,
definitely is and was a trend. She came to the Grammys with her titty out. But
for
I
sure.
think that's what it is, and I think the way she might have responded to Nicki, but just like Nicki, Lil Kim was the one. Obviously, we had Foxy Brown, we had Queen Latifah, we had a lot of other female rappers, but she was the one of one. And I think Nicki came out and was also one on one. And not that Kim might have felt threatened, but I think she might have wanted a little bit more attention from her. She wanted her to like praise her. But I think Nicki is the same way towards fans
Yeah,
or
for
other
sure. Now she is
celebrities.
for sure. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely giving
so
that.
maybe they just too much alike.
Mm.
Also, sometimes I feel like and this might not be the case with Nicki, but I feel like sometimes when artists are up and coming, they give props but only because they have to. I don't think they really be meaning it. I don't think they really
Yeah,
care. They be like, "Who's your inspiration? Michael Jackson?" And they don't be. They just
girl,
say it. It's gonna be Coil
your
Ray one day.
your inspiration was Mary J. Blige. You need to say that.
Right, or just be keep it real. Nobody inspired you because I remember somebody asked me before who do I look up to, and I literally said nobody, and that's the truth. I'm sorry, I don't look up to anybody.
I respect that.
I don't.
I do. I genuinely do. I promise you. I mean, because it's been a long road for me to be confident in myself and just be confident in the work that I produce and everything like that. So I would say within the last 3 or 4 years, I've used myself as like my muse. I
Hmm.
would say, but
Yeah, me
like
too.
for real,
A lot of trial and error for
in my
me.
head, I'd be like, "Girl, ain't nobody seeing me.
I spend a lot. Okay, period. Now I ain't got. I'm not the stylist, but when it come to handling business, I'm that girl, and that's on
Ain't nobody seeing
everybody.
you, boo."
That's everybody and their mama. But I definitely spend a lot of time to myself reflecting and thinking and writing notes, and I just draw stuff from there. Now, obviously, people have taught me things, but no person in particular has ever I have ever looked at them and be like, I want that's what I want.
I want that life.
Yeah. I actually y'all know I started being a fan of De'Ara and Ken like a year before they broke up. And so I do follow De'Ara's new YouTube channel, and the girls in her comments, they need to stand up.
I
It's
think
like
they do that. You know what's so
oppressive
crazy? People probably don't really feel like that. I think they do that to get recognized. Like
by the person.
yeah, like people
I
will say
agree. I believe
anything
that
just
too.
to get a response.
They be like, "Oh my God, De'Ara is living her best life. This is the life I want. You're a
I love
gold.
her.
Look at you.
I want
Look
her
at you.
life. I think
You love hot dogs just like me. I do think that too. I do think they do it. It's just strange. That's all. And I really admire De'Ara. Like she is doing her thing.
hmm.
If keeping the momentum was a person, and then I look over at Ken, I'm like, I know everybody got their own path, but it's like, dang, like I feel like De'Ara always had her own personal brand. She always had passions and things she liked. But with Ken, it's almost like, well, dang, what was he passionate about? Because right now he just even I looked at his last YouTube video and he just was kind of like winging it. I'm like, dang man, but he'll find his way. But De'Ara, the YouTube girl, has got to take notes. She
Yeah,
gonna keep that app alive.
she definitely do. Which is so crazy, but I think that people relate to her because she's not like. I feel like when I get on YouTube, everybody try to make that same voice. Everybody try to sound like Kim K, who was
She
trying to
talk
sound
like
like
she
the
from Memphis.
stereotype.
She be her regular self. Yeah,
She
yeah,
being
yeah,
herself. Like she talked like
yeah.
somebody that you would know.
Yeah, I agree. I
What's up?
agree.
Yeah,
She
you know
just
what I'm
had me
saying?
watching her, and I used to be anti couple channels, but one day I seen a vlog, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I
because
like
we be
them.
giving. Welcome to
Yeah,
my
doing too
YouTube,
much, and
guys.
they
Oh
don't.
my
And
gosh.
we want to talk about paving the way. They definitely they are the standard. They might not be together no more, but none of
Yeah.
them couple channels can come
At first,
close.
it was on the way to being Queen Naja, but she started
It's okay, Queen Naja
banging.
took another. And they got I like their videos too, the royal family, but I don't really watch it like that. It's not. I mean, they're cool, but I don't subscribe. If YouTube suggests it, I'll turn it on.
I understand that people be having drama, but drama will really make me tune out because I think I've tuned out of De'Ara and Queen Naja because they both had like weird drama with their family and or relationship and stuff, and I just was I don't
I
know.
would say this: De'Ara and Ken them only really addressed like two things ever. Everything else they just ignored it, and they said they never had PR. That's fine. Anyhow, all right. So for this week's topic, I had a topic in mind, but in reality, I think we might need a little bit more time to plan it out. So
Okay.
yeah, I just want to I want to be well spoken and have my thoughts out, and you as well. I'll share it with you when we start recording. But I just wanted to talk about like anything that you have been. Do you feel like since the year started, you've gotten closer to anything that you've been pursuing, like any goals?
Um. So I didn't really set any goals this year for myself that were major because of me moving. I think that was just my goal in itself was to just step out of my comfort zone, which was Atlanta, and experience different things. Like I think here, my whole thing, and I keep having the same conversation, but my problem when I was in Atlanta is that I always felt weird for doing certain things because people would make fun of like the dumbest shit. Like,
Mhm.
okay, um, I noticed that I'm gaining weight. I noticed that I have high blood pressure, and I also noticed that when people incorporate more plant-based diets, that stuff kind of goes away. They get it healthier. So of course, me trying that, um, going that route with my life will make sense. But people who don't want to do that, they looking at me like I'm trying to be bougie, I'm trying to be better than them, or I'm being
No,
like,
no,
oh,
no.
you think you white, you think you this because I'm eating vegetables. Imagine that. Imagine you go to the grocery store and see vegetables and they say only white people can eat this. You got to eat hog maw, pig feet, and
Greens,
ribs.
beans, tomatoes.
You know what I'm saying?
When
And
people are
that's
like
ignorant
that,
for me to even say that, but it's just like it's so
it's
ignorant for you
true.
to say to me that I'm trying to be white or be something that I'm not just because I'm choosing to um, buy water in buy bottles of essential water instead of getting the Kroger brand water.
I think a lot of that is rooted in insecurity. if that makes sense.
It
I
is,
think
but
that sometimes people
it's so weird.
it's very weird because, and that's why sometimes it's best for people to just not say anything and just listen to learn, not listen to respond. Because I think that when people see something that's so different, they just have. I can't really explain, and I don't mean necessarily call people insecure, but in a way it is. It's because it's like people that are secure with the things they do, the things they like, they don't really care, or they shouldn't really care what other people are doing in that aspect. Like for me, when I first stopped eating pork, people would like eat a burger but bite it real hard, be like, and I'm like, I don't want it. So
Yeah, I hate
please
that.
enjoy it. But if people say something like, "Oh, why you going hiking? That's for white people," deep down they want to do stuff like that too, but they don't know nobody else that can do it. So if you doing it, they got to give you some slack for it, some flack for it, just for them to later on down the line team up and do it. Like I see a lot of black people shooting the hooch now, which is hey, cool, do your thing. But before that was a white people thing. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all go in a big group of 10, now y'all living life. It's like, no, all these things are, thank
You can
God,
still do that
accessible to all
alone.
of us.
And I tell people that all the time. Like my friends that ask me my opinion on stuff. They'll ask me my opinion on stuff. Like for instance, my friend asked me something recently about some shoes. I'm gonna be honest about it. Like
Oh, what you say?
every time, like I don't like the shoe. I think it's ugly. Like I don't. I think that it looks like a knockoff of something else. I don't. I don't really like the shoe. But when they was in the store and they were trying to buy it, I was like, get it because you want it.
Right. Not be,
I don't. I'm not
oh,
wearing the
so they was
shoe.
okay.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So we're in a
Yeah.
store. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, buy it. And then when I'm like, when somebody else brought it up, I'm like, I think that shoe is so ugly. And they're like, well, why would you tell me to buy it if you think I'm
Because
ugly?
you wanted it.
Because you want the shoe. You
Cause
like it.
so are you saying you only want it if other people want it too? It's like if it's
Yeah.
your style, that's how you identify your personal style. Just I do, yeah. That is, yeah. I can understand that. I do now. That's
It's so
something
bad.
yeah, and I get that. I get that. Yeah,
So
that's
now
I.
I think that I have accomplished a lot of my goals this year. Like like I'm refinding myself. I'm finding things that I like. I'm just trying new things that I normally wouldn't try. I'm meeting new people, which is new for me because the way that I meet people is through social media for the most part, and I've always done that. Like I met pretty much all my friends through social media, whether it was MySpace, Facebook,
Except
something.
me.
Well, yeah, no, not you, but you know what I mean.
Nah, I
But
feel you. That's the
now
see that ain't
I'm
a good
like,
way to be my friend. You gonna get ignored.
but
I
now
met
I'm
people
like
on social media
meeting
though.
people in person. Like I go to
Yeah.
events, I speak to people, exchange. I exchange social media. I think the number thing is a little too personal because some people have been texting me, and I'm like, how do you have my Natalie Nunn texted me like a month ago? How do you have my number? How do you even know me?
Better watch them out. She gonna expose you and try to get you on Bad Boy South.
Won't. That ain't even my brand, boo.
Fighting Shamarco.
I will literally mace the whole house and just go home. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So,
Jonathan gonna have your dreads in his hat.
that's my friend. Hey, friend.
Hey, friend. He never mind.
Okay.
So I don't remember what my goals were. I think it was to just make more money. That's usually my ongoing goal. But buying my investment property was not an initial goal. I always wanted to do it, but I wasn't actively working to pursue it because I felt like I needed a little bit more information, and I got the information. And that's the thing about me. Once I decide to do something, I got 30 seconds before I execute it. I don't even have time to drag it out. I'd be like, all right. I was talking to somebody about buying this investment property, and then in 19 days, it was closing day.
Listen, I will commend you on that because once you got your mind on something, you not stopping until you do it.
Yeah, I can't. I obsess over it. Now, I do, I've talked about in several episodes two things. I've wanted to talk about relocating, and I want to buy a house or have some kind of home with a yard. And so that is an ongoing goal. And the only reason why I haven't acted on it is because I have a home that is very sufficient now. And the things that I want in my next home are not necessities. And I feel like I will be in a much better position if I continue to buy investments or invest in general before tying the bulk of my money up in this expensive home that will eliminate the opportunity to buy more investment property. Because basically, when you have like rental properties and things like that, the money that you make is counted as income, and so that cancels out the debt per se. So
Mm.
if so basically I can get three, four, five, 100,000 more investment properties. But as long as I'm making income, I can buy a house and it won't look like I'm in debt. It won't them houses not really gonna make a negative impact. It's gonna break
Yeah.
even or create more income, create more profit. So once I the house, my rental property thing is a little shaky right now, not because of my doing, it's just because people are weird. But we having some more
Call
plans,
Mama
but
June back.
y'all, let me tell y'all something. I actually had to take it off. I listed my property for rent on Facebook Marketplace, and on everything I love, Mama June applied. Well, she didn't apply. She reached out to me for more information, and I was like, I know this ain't who I think it is. I went on her page. It was absolutely her. She had went live. Everything. Like I'm like, okay. Now the thing is, I have a specific audience that I am renting to, and she is not that audience. And I don't want to tell my business, but it was not a discriminatory thing. It was just more so like you didn't read the post clearly. She didn't
Yeah.
read.
Yeah, no, no,
But
yeah, no. It's yeah, you literally got the house for a specific reason.
and that's what it says on the description. And that's why I took it off Facebook because people don't read over there. I'm like, I'm not. Then y'all can already find my personal page. Like, I don't want that. So we're not using that no more. But my friend said she had success over there. Godspeed to her. But it ain't for me. So next up on my list. So yeah, that's just really the biggest thing. I increased my investment towards retirement. Y'all know I'm retiring by 40. So that's been a big thing I've been looking into, and I just want to put myself in a position. I want to be recession proof. I know that's not 100% possible. But I don't want to get so far ahead of myself with all these investments that I end up losing everything. So I am trying to be smart about it. I definitely want to have passive income. I'm not looking for get rich quick stuff. So even if it's an extra $90 a month, that is profit. So you
Yeah.
know, just looking at my margins that way, I definitely want to provide fair housing to people. So I'm not looking to come up off of these people's backs. But as long as they take care of my stuff, I'll take care of them. So really that's it. I mean, I want my hair to grow a little longer. My hair got a little damaged from my braids I had because I wasn't properly taking care of it. That's a goal. Cause I feel like my hair, and this is so like I guess this is what's the word when people be into themselves? Not selfish, but
Pain.
superficial. But my hair has always been the same length. I always end up having to trim it and it go back to the same. So this year has been the longest my hair has ever been in my life, which is wild. So I've been trying to take care of it. My hairstylist is amazing. So we working on that. She told me last time she washed it, my hair getting long. So shout out to Bree. What's up, Bree? Um,
Hey,
on
what's
top
up,
of
boo?
that, I am ready for I'm gonna probably regret this, but I'm looking forward to building a family, I think. And I really think this estate planning has changed that. I don't but it's still like 50-50, like because I've said this before and then I've changed my mind. I don't know if
Knowing you gonna change your mind, but I'm excited of even the thought of that. So
I think that this is what I think about often, and this is the only reason why I think about it. I am going to get older and older, and I am going to end up alone. And what am I going to have? My friends and family going to either be passed on or have their own family, and it's going to be little old me and whoever I'm with. God willing, we grow old together. But I don't want to be lonely when I get older. And not that I need kids for that, but there is a reason why people rely on family. And so,
hmm.
not that it's not a definite choice. I'm still on birth control for the foreseeable future, but I think that I am interested in having a family with a sufficient amount of space, sufficient income, and a nice quality of life. Now, listen, this could change tomorrow. It actually just changed already.
So you
But
don't
I
want no
just,
family no more.
huh?
So you don't want no family no more. That
No,
fast.
it's not that I don't want it. I just enjoy the life I've created for myself. That's all. That's really what it boils down to.
Mm.
And it's not that I.
I enjoy your life looking at it. It's real
Shut
tea. I
up.
mean, I really do. I really do. I mean, I feel like I've changed some. Just watching how you move, I've changed some stuff. I mean, I'm a little.
I appreciate that. And I want to be able to pass down the stuff I learned to a kid. But I've been told that having kids is never ending anxiety. And I don't have time to be fighting teachers, fighting daycare centers, fighting police, fighting other kids because of how they made I'm protective over Hazel. I can't imagine how I do over a child. And that's neither here nor there. Obviously, that's just part of responsibility. But I think what I think about is when I decide to have kids. I'm not gonna be able to travel as much. Like I can pretty much almost up and go. I will have a lot less time to myself, and that's just so important to me. Time to myself is so important, man.
Hey, people
It's
do not
just
understand
and
that.
when you have kids, even when you have a dog, that goes away and it does not come back. Like it's gone. And so I feel like a lot of people get married and or have kids prematurely and because solely because they want those things, but I don't think they always consider that aspect. And I've heard people say this countless times like, "Hey man, if you can wait, wait." And I've always had that in mind. And so for me, it's just like, oh my God, the fact that my house is quiet right now. My dog is laid out. I'm not changing pampers. And that's a beautiful thing. Obviously, they're not going to be a baby forever. At some point, they'll become self sufficient. But as they get older, so will I. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, am I going to be able to continue to enjoy my life? And I have a right to be selfish about that. But I do when I see people. I was looking at something. I don't know who I was watching recently, but basically it's just something that made me see the beauty in parenthood. I think it was someone's child growing up. Oh, okay. So there's this girl I follow on TikTok named Clark. She's a young girl. She's like 21, but I really like her because she's a law student. She just got her head on straight, but she also lives a very she dates a lot. Dates a lot of older men, a lot of men with money. I mean, a very unique situation. I don't even know how I ended up on that side of TikTok, but her mom was in town and they were on live together. And her mom was so cool. She really reminded me of myself. And so the way that they were talking to each other and how they were getting along, and she was really proud of Clark. Like she's in law school. She's just doing well, she's pre-law, but she's gonna be a lawyer. She's got these great internships. And I'm like, it must be really rewarding for your child. God willing you survive to see it, but you to have your child who to become exactly what you intended for them to be. That has to be really rewarding. And I think
Yeah,
that's a cool feeling. But do I want to wait 20 years to see that? That's a long time.
I think. I mean, just I think that me watching people raise kids, um, um, I watched how that changed people, and I watched how rewarding that it could be. Just having
Mhm.
kids that makes me want to continue because I think that the problem is I want kids, but I want a lot of kids just because I knew how it felt to just be the only child in the house. Now I'm not the only child, but my sister is 14 years
Grown.
older than me. So
Mhm.
by the time I'm like 5, 6 years old enough to know what's going on and just figure out, try to at least attempt to figure out who I am. I'm in the house by myself because my sister she got her own kids at that point, and she
Mhm.
live alone. Live with them. So I know how that felt for me, and I feel like a lot of the reasons why I do certain things is because I didn't have um, I didn't have nobody in the house with me. So if I have a child, they need brothers and sisters regardless. If I
Yeah,
need a
I agree. I
minimum of
do not want
three,
to have a only child, so I need to have twins or adopt.
yeah, I'm gonna have to adopt. I do want at least two kids of my own that are biologically mine, but I don't mind adopting. Um,
I'm
but
always wonder what my child gonna look like. So that's the only thing that
yeah,
made me want to carry it.
I don't know, but I've also kind of written myself off as the rich uncle this year, so
Period.
I
I've
don't
been
know.
crowned that a long rich auntie a long time ago. But
I'm,
shoot, they getting expensive too because Christmas time. I'm like, dang, I just wanted to get y'all a little gift card. Now
that's
y'all
fine. That's
going.
once a year, boo.
I know, but that one year
Maybe
I be down
birthdays,
bad.
maybe
They getting
birthdays and
older too.
Christmas.
They old enough to have preferences now.
That's fine. I ain't got to.
But
I don't have to feed them every day. I don't have to buy them clothes every day. I don't have
and
to
you
take
is
them to
right about
school.
that.
I don't have to pay for school. I don't have to pay for daycare. So them little
And
two
that's
gifts
another
a
thing. My
year.
kids, they maybe they'll go to public school in the beginning. It's just so many things, and I just want my life. Like I think that my life is good now, but it's just not good enough to what I want. And I don't know if I'll ever reach that point. So I don't know, but I definitely do not want to raise my kids in Atlanta. Sorry to y'all, but. It's just I don't know, man. I don't know. Y'all wish me luck. It probably won't happen. It may happen. Who even knows? But I do think about it sometimes, and the only thing that makes me think about it is the part when they become adults and you are proud of them for following the proper steps of life. It's not
Yeah,
the pushing out the baby. It's not changing dookie pampers, getting peed on by your son, them calling you mean and telling you they hate you and you ruining their life. So
it got real
I just
deep.
yeah, it did all that stuff. I'd be like, see, that's why. I ain't got time. And I know every child is different, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that's all. This same person keeps submitting interest in my property, sir. You already did.
Child, this one person is gonna make me do their makeup. I keep telling them not available. They find it another day. What about this day? What
Who
about
is it?
tomorrow?
Was it that girl? Somebody's sister?
You got your phone?
I do. Oh, scared. Oh, scared. I wanted to revisit something that you said earlier. Oh, and you had a problem with her before, didn't you? Because she didn't want you posting a certain picture.
Yeah, lame asshole. I'm sorry, but
Ooh. So I want to revisit something you said earlier when I said that Also Crispy only had 1,000 something followers. I saw a tweet, and it might have been the same one you're talking about, that talked about like, so what if you only got 100 views? Like, imagine 100 people sitting in front of you. And I will say I got a little discouraged. Sometimes with the podcast, off and on, I'd be like, I wonder what's gonna be our, like, what number are we gonna stop at? Like, I enjoy doing the podcast, but I sometimes I'll see podcasts that I don't, unfortunately, I don't think are as funny, and it's doing extremely well. And it work, and it's not, that's not necessarily envy, but it does make me wonder if we tapping into the right market, if we talking about the right things, blah blah blah. But people are attracted to what they attract to. We can't control that. But at one point we were getting several hundred views, listens per episode, and it went down some. And when the pandemic went out, it went out a little bit more. And I'm just like, oh, like what's happening? But when I think about those 150, 200, 300 people sitting in front of us, that's crazy. That's
that's
amazing
a
to think
lot.
about. It
I
is
have.
a lot.
I always say that I don't have a lot of. I'm like I don't have as many like people who do what I do and they whatever they have a lot of followers and I'm like I only have 41,000. But just imagine me
Which
in
is
a
a lot.
room with 41,000 people. I would probably
Yeah,
swing a knife.
exactly. So I just had to, seeing that tweet actually like made me feel a little bit better about it. And I don't really get down about it, but I do think that we're pretty goddamn funny. And I think, and
Yeah,
but I know that a lot of popular podcasts, believe it or not, are all connected. They all know each other. They all have the same network, and that's beneficial. And I'm not tripping. I don't care. I don't plan on being a professional podcaster at any point unless the opportunity presents itself. But I have had moments where I'm like, all right, like what can we be doing differently? What else can we be talking about? How can we be more creative? But I think that doing, like, obviously there's ways that people can rebrand, branch out, and be more efficient. But I don't want to do anything that's not true to me either. So I want to be myself, talk about things that I want to talk about, and then keep it that way.
I feel you.
Keep it that way. Tyrese's voice.
Okay.
Anyways, so what's coming up for me, man? So I lost a relative this week. Rest in peace, my uncle Ricky. So I got a funeral on
No,
Saturday. Did you know my uncle Ricky?
no, I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like I feel like you maybe been to his house before. He stayed over there by Fickett. Maybe not.
No, I haven't. I
Okay.
haven't.
Hazel has her final training session this weekend. It was supposed to be last weekend, but last weekend was a holiday. And then I'm going to church on Sunday with my friends Bryson and Desiree.
Okay.
The pastor is retiring, so we're gonna go and show some love.
Is this the church that y'all been going to?
We only
Okay.
went together as a group once. We have been looking virtually, or they have been looking virtually for a moment of transparency. But I've been trying to, Anyway, it's neither here. God's still working on me, but uh, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, hopefully, I'll be getting some ink dried on some leases because people, man, people be ghosting y'all. People have you driving to a whole nother state for nothing. They'll have you drafting up leases for nothing. And I get it, that's how it goes, but it's a little frustrating. So I'm new to this, so I'm just getting my feet wet. But I I have a very, and I'm not gonna say I have a very high expectation for service. I expect what is presented. And when I don't
Yeah.
get it, I'm not with it.
Mm.
So anyway, gotta take my car to the shop early in the morning. What else can I say? That's really it. So
I have a I have a busy the next 4 weeks, pretty much.
yes. So when do
Almost
you
4
leave
weeks.
again?
So I was supposed to leave on the 28th, and since I live in California, I have to leave before everybody else. So now I leave on the 26th, which is Sunday.
Sunday,
Um,
okay.
so I leave on Sunday, but it's a busy week. It's BT week, so many people are in town. So I have to get my house cleaned before I leave. I just want to make sure that the refrigerator is cleaned out. My sheets and stuff are clean so the way when I come home to a clean home. Nothing
Yeah,
is,
that's the best feeling.
yeah, it's not smelly in here because the trash isn't took out or something is old in the refrigerator. So I want to do that. I do have a few clients and shoots and stuff. It's so much. I haven't even begun to pack. I've been adding all the countries I'm going to, the weather to my phone, so I know how to pack. Um,
I'll be doing the same thing.
what else? So I got AccuView contacts now, so I have to go back for my follow up appointment tomorrow, and I don't know if I'm gonna go through with it because um, it could be because I slept in them for 3 days.
Oh my god. You do not supposed to sleep. They scratch your cornea. You're not supposed to sleep in contacts. Okay, go ahead though. I ain't gonna judge you. I already judged you though.
So the first day, I just don't like the contact thing. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of it. I don't like the fact that it's not easy to take out of my eye because I could put them in easy, but taking them out is kind of hard. Um, and then I can feel them. Like I
Yeah.
felt like when I put the contacts in, I was constantly putting in eye drops to keep them moisturized. It just was not comfortable. I would
Now,
rather,
if you born, okay, let me ask you two things. So getting them off can be hard, but my method is I literally touch the contact and I turn my eye and it literally
oh
comes
yeah,
off.
I slide it down and then I just kind of like boom.
Yeah, it
It's
took a
even
few.
it's just weird. I don't know. Just me doing
It
that
might
is
you
just a
might
lot.
just they just might not be for you because
Yeah,
I love them. But my first time trying them, I didn't love them, but I grew to love them because I just had to get used to it. It's like when you when you use intense Listerine, it's like dang, this one got fire in it,
yeah. I don't
but you
know.
get used to it.
So I think contact things, like you said, is just not for me. So I think I'm going to
They
just
expensive anyway. That's why I'm getting LASIK. Once I run out of contacts,
yeah.
I'm going to get LASIK.
Yeah, I probably just call them and just tell them I'm not coming. Just tell them that I don't want to do the contact thing because that's the only reason what she wants me to come in for is to just do a follow up appointment about them. But I think ultimately that they're just not for me. So
What would you benefit from? Do you get prescription sunglasses or like how do you wear them?
I was just wearing them around, but I got them specifically because I wanted to wear sunglasses because
Mm-hmm.
I have sunglasses and I want to buy some, and that would be the only reason why I would use the contacts for real. Or if I want to go out and I feel like the glass is taken away from my look,
Yeah,
I'll
you
do
want
the
to be able to see.
contacts.
Yeah.
But I don't see myself using them contacts that much. I really like these glasses. I really like the other glasses I got, and I plan on getting more glasses. So I'll just deal with that for now until I
Yeah, and if
can.
you got some really nice sunglasses that you like, you can always get prescription lenses, and they give you the original non-prescription lens, so you can pop them in and out if you want to. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably do that.
Yeah, it's
So I
okay.
don't know.
I
But
get
yeah,
it. It's definitely and some people don't even like touching their eye. It's just to each their own. But I'm if when it comes to
yeah,
a
I'm very
contact,
picky about it. Like I only
yeah,
put it in my contacts when I get out the shower because I know that it's nothing on my hands.
yeah,
Like
oh
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I've definitely had soap on my hands before, but yeah, I don't mind them. I feel it though. Hey, don't force it. But they gave you how many trial ones did they give you?
One, because they cheap.
Oh, okay, and you slept in them. Jesus Christ,
Slept
brother.
I slept on them for 3 days.
You're not the
The,
first, but I
the
did when I
third
first
day,
tried them because I was scared to take. I didn't know how to take them out, but then I just forced myself to try them out. So
the third day, I woke up, my eyes was glued shut. I said, "Oh yeah, these gotta come out."
one thing about me, I rub my eyes often, and they always end up falling on the floor. Now, when I got nails, that's what I have to practice on. I'm trying to think when I go on my
The
trip to
contacts
school.
fall on the floor.
I be rubbing my eyes like vigorously.
That happened to me before, so that's what another reason. I told you I used to fall out if I had an air on in my car.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with you got some kind of eyeballs. You got them Mr. Worthies. I know he can't wear contacts. Can't even blink. Just kid. I hope he's doing well.
Oh, why she look like this? I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, let's wrap this thing up, y'all. It's been another episode of OZ Podcast. Holla
Okay.
at your girl
Holla at your swearable.
and your world boo. Okay,
Yeah.
wait. So this is the last episode until you come back.
Unless you want to do it by yourself, but yeah.
I'll let y'all know. Um,
Unless you want to do some solo episodes until I get
so when
back.
do you come back? July the 24th or
I
the
come back.
31st?
I come back on the I come back on the 11th, but then I have work here because it's gonna be. I have a few days, so I can record when I come back. But um, I know that I have to do. I have to go to like Miami for Rolling Loud. I have to go to another. I have to go to
Yeah, but
Washington.
you're gonna need time to rest.
I know. So yeah, that's
So
what
it's
I'm
no
saying.
pressure. Yeah, I probably will do some solo episodes. I'm gonna surprise y'all next week, so you gotta hold your breath. Just kidding. I might talk about the thing that I wanted to talk about today because it's more of a personal complaint than
And now
correct.
chime in.
Period. All right, y'all. Well, see y'all next time, whenever that is.
Oh my God. See y'all soon. When I come back, I'll have so many new stories and things to tell you
Will
guys.
you? Okay.
Girl, I'm gonna know a new language by the time I come back, so I don't know what you talking about.
You said I'm gonna do what?
I'm gonna know a new language, so I'm finna come back
I know that's right. I've
speaking.
been. Well, Janae sent me a link to learn some Korean terms, so hopefully I can pick those
Girl,
up.
please, I ain't even gonna do it. I'm gonna go over there like this to everything.
That's what I said. I be texting her that all the time. She's so I love a tech savvy, organized person. We got a Google Sheets where we've been like listing of stuff to do and then leaving notes for each other. It's been very. That's how I like to operate. Not looking
Find your
forward to that
tribe.
flight.
Because
Yeah,
I'm find
period.
your tribe and stay there. I was talking about I went to lunch with my friend Joby today and I was telling him how much I appreciate him as like a friend because he is my type of friend.
Yeah, I know what you
He's
mean.
a
It's
low
hard to
maintenance
find that.
friend. He's a low maintenance friend. I love that. Like
Yep. That's
I
my
love it.
friend Leah. She don't be out partying. That's her. You can do that if you want to, but I ain't gotta worry about her trying to get me to come out and do all that. It's
Yeah.
like see you when I see you.
Period.
Yeah, period. Okay, cool. All right. Bye now.